the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
It's time to gather loved ones together for all the holidays' best spread. Lynn's has great prices on all your favorite Thanksgiving items, from delicious turkey with all the fixings to mashed potatoes and yummy pies. We have everything you need to create your perfect Thanksgiving dinner. Whether it's cooking the traditional meal, completely store-bought, or a combination of both, your best holiday meal starts here. Learn more and start shopping today at linsgrocery.com. Lynn's, where delicious begins.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is with you. Welcome to today's podcast episode. So in this week's podcast, we're going to go over some weak and strong forms of words. We'll also touch on some pronunciation errors made by native Spanish speakers. And do you have the ultimate skill employers are looking for? Well, without further hesitation, let's crack on. Section 1. A quick way to improve your fluency without breaking a sweat. In conversation, you will come across certain words which have a weak and a strong form. Using the weak form will make your speech flow more naturally, making you sound more fluent. Now, these words are generally more functional in nature and do not carry the more important content within the sentence. So by swiftly moving over the function words, we can focus in on the meat or the substance of what information is being conveyed. There are 5 words that you will repeatedly hear the weak and the strong forms. Number 1, for. Now the weak form sounds like fur. Number 2, from, and the weak form sounds like from. Number 3, some. Now the weak form is a speedy some. Number 4 is to, and the weak version sounds like t. Number 5 is of, and the weak version is of. So let's practice with this sentence. I will put it in the show notes so you can see the words highlighted. Some ways to improve your fluency of English from beginners to intermediate and for advanced speakers. Some ways to improve your fluency of English from beginners to intermediate and for advanced speakers. So my second version was using the full strong form of each word. The first version used the weak form. Could you hear the difference? Could you hear that in version 1, we could move swiftly through these function words to get to the real essence of what I'm saying? So this sample sentence demonstrates that the significant words which impart the bulk of the information are not contained in these function words. We can skim over the for, from, some, to, of, to concentrate on the words which tell us what is important in the sentence. So why don't you have a go? Repeat the sentence, I'll put it in the show notes, using first the strong form of the highlighted words, and then repeat again using the weak form. Can you feel the difference in your speech? Does the sentence flow a little easier from your mouth when you're using the weak versions? So again, I'll go over this sentence again so you can hear my pronunciation of both the strong and the weak forms. So we'll start with the strong. Some ways to improve your fluency of English from beginners to intermediate and for advanced speakers. So that was using the stronger version of the words. And let's do it again, this time with the weak version. Some ways to improve your fluency of English from beginners to intermediate and for advanced speakers. Could you hear the difference? Now you have a go. Section 2. following on from the last segment's introduction to the weak and the strong form of some key function words, I thought we could have a quick quiz to consolidate our learning. So I've recorded some sentences and I'd like you to identify which is the weak version of the word. You can find the full quiz on the website, again, link in the show notes, but let's go through a couple here. I'm going to play a piece of audio and I want you to identify which some is the weak form of the word. Do you hear it in the first or the second? So can you identify which some is the weak form of the word? Is it the first one or the second one? Let's have a listen. Someday you'll meet a special somebody. So did you say number 2, the second one? You'd be correct. Same again, I'll play you a piece of audio and this time I want you to identify which 2 is the weak form. Is it the first or the second? Here goes. To improve your speaking voice, talk to me. I'll play it again. To improve your speaking voice, talk to me. So which was the weak form? Was it the first one or the second one? Again, I'm going to say the second one. And if you did, you'd be correct. So you can complete the quiz on the website. Link is again in the show notes. Section 3. 10 things you have in common with other British accent learners. Working and learning in isolation can play tricks with your mind. Your self-talk can drive you mad if you focus on negatives and weaknesses. As you work on your British accent, remember, you are not alone. There are thousands of learners just like you, and more than likely having the same self-doubts that you're experiencing. From talking to other British accent students, some of the more common feelings are 1. You don't feel ready to start talking with your British accent in public. Number 2. You don't know where to start. If they don't have the guidance of a course, this can really stop you before you even begin. Number 3. You don't have native speakers to practice with. Now, it's nice to have native speakers around you to surround yourself with the accent, but it isn't necessary. You can make significant progress working by yourself with the aid of my voice through pre-recorded audio and video. Number 4, you're self-conscious about your accent. You might feel that you're not being authentic or true to yourself. Now, your aim is to speak clear, easy to understand English, so you feel more comfortable speaking at work, socially, and with friends and family, not to change the essence of who you are. Number 5, you find it difficult to find the time to study. You don't have to schedule a specific time to study each day. Use those down times during the day to practice your accent. Do you have 10 minutes while you're waiting to pick up the kids, doing the household chores or walking to work? Can you use this time to listen and practice with audio or video recordings? My videos in the RP British Accent Pronunciation course, which is course 1 of the British Accent Bundle, are accessible online wherever you are while you're on the go, and they're only generally about 5 minutes long. Number 6, you're worried about what other people will think. Whenever you take steps to improve yourself, you will always find resistant people. Some of your community will not want you to change. Your self-improvement only highlights their own failings and self-doubt. Number 7, embarrassed about making mistakes. Make sure you don't get put off for fear of making mistakes. Even native speakers get things wrong. Number 8, not measuring your progress. Now, do you keep recordings from each day you practice? You'll soon notice the difference and improvements when you start to listen back to these and compare. Number 9, you're reluctant to invest in your speaking skills. You'll make quicker progress if you do and experience the benefits quicker. And courses don't have to cost the earth. Number 10, forgetting to train your ears first. It's so important to learn how to hear the differences between your own accent and the RP accent you want to learn. You'll then be able to monitor the improvements while understanding which areas are still not quite matching with that RP British accent sound. Now, I'm sure you could add so much more to this list, but if I can help alleviate any of these worries or concerns, or perhaps you're looking for another specific help, do let me know. Feel free to get in touch, mail@learningbritishaccent.com, whenever you feel ready to. I wish you every success with your British accent journey. Section 4. Pronunciation errors made by native Spanish speakers. If your mother tongue is Spanish, you may find certain sounds in English more difficult to pronounce than others. So in this section, I'm going to highlight 4 areas that are worth focusing on when learning to speak English with an RP British English accent. Firstly, mastering the British R sound. Now, as a Spanish speaker, you'll be used to trilling your R sounds. In RP British English, we have a much smoother sound that's produced by raising the tongue, but without the tongue tip touching anything. So make sure your tongue is kept away from the roof of the mouth to avoid making that vibrating Spanish R sound. Practice pronouncing the R in different positions within the words, so at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of words. In Course 2 of the British Accent Bundle, there's lists of vocab which provides lots of different words where the R appears in its different places. This will really help you drill down this sound. And is also useful to practice pronouncing the various consonant clusters in which R appears, e.g. str and tr. Again, you'll find a large selection with accompanying audio in Course 2 for you to practice with. Confusing the vowel sounds E and I. Now you can learn how to place your mouth, lips and tongue correctly with the videos in Course 1 of the British Accent Bundle for each of these different sounds. And minimal pairs are great to help you correct your mouth placement and pronunciation. So some examples would be sheep, ship, sheep, ship, feet, fit, feet, fit, cheap, chip, cheap, chip, leak, lick, leak, lick. So try not to confuse the vowels E and I. Mixing up the V versus the B, v, b. Now these two sounds are produced in quite a distinct way. In English, v is a voiced fricative. However, some Spanish speakers tend to replace it with a plosive b. The v sound is produced with the top teeth on the bottom lip, whereas the b sound is made by closing the lips together, hold the air and then exploding the air as we push the lips open. B. And I've got videos showing you exactly this as part of Course 1 of the British Accent Bundle. So let's practice some V and B words so you can hear and feel that difference. Over, over. Verb, verb. Vocab, vocab. 7, 7. But, but. And finally, articulating English word endings. Now, some speakers, especially those from the southern Spain area, find it tricky to pronounce the ends of words. In particular, they can struggle with those words ending in da, so for example, husband or played. Ending in or n, so you've got dream or fun. And the z sound, which you hear in words like plays. Again, use the vocab lists to drill down those words which have these particular ending sounds. You'll find them Course 2 British Accent Bundle. Although this list isn't exhaustive, I hope this is a good start for all you native Spanish speakers out there. if you do need more help, please do join the British Accent Bundle to get access to all the material that I mentioned in this section. So if you go to learningbritishaccent.com/bundle, you'll get all the information about the British accent courses there. Section 5. Do you have the ultimate skill employers are looking for? Do you know what the top skills employers are looking for in 2024? Well, according to LinkedIn, it's still communication skills. Even in this AI age, a recent LinkedIn survey found that 9 out of 10 global executives agree that soft skills, also known as human or durable skills, are more important than ever. So it's not surprising that communication ranks number 1 on the 2024 list of overall most in-demand skills. So how confident are you with your spoken English skills? Is your proficiency in English being obscured by a strong regional or international accent? If you want to move ahead in the employment market, you'll want to feel secure with your communication skills. By improving your speaking skills, you can demonstrate to companies that you can work effectively with both colleagues and clients. With remote working, it is especially important to be able to communicate with people you can't see face to face. Are you able to be understood through video chats, Zoom calls, and over the phone? Clear spoken English is especially important through internet channels that can be fuzzy, break up and freeze. So if you're planning to move up the career ladder this year, it may be worth working on your communication skills first. And why not use this weekend to level up your spoken British English with the British Accent Bundle, available at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Thank you ever so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I hope you can join me again this time next week. Bye for now.
It's time to gather loved ones together for all the holidays' best spread. Lynn's has great prices on all your favorite Thanksgiving items, from delicious turkey with all the fixings to mashed potatoes and yummy pies. We have everything you need to create your perfect Thanksgiving dinner. Whether it's cooking the traditional meal, completely store-bought, or a combination of both, your best holiday meal starts here. Learn more and start shopping today at lynsgrocery.com. Lynn's, where delicious begins.